Sporadic conflicts between the human miners and the Na'vi natives began almost immediately after the former's arrival on Pandora. By 2134, the Anurai clan had been all but slaughtered for their artifacts, which were valuable on Earth's black market. Numerous battles took place between the RDA and the Tipani clan in 2152, resulting in the destruction of Willow Island and various other native sites. 2152 also saw the Sekops attack on the old schoolhouse, which was a severe blow to interspecies relations. It was the RDA's eventual attack on the Omaticaya clan's home tree which brought their relations to a flashpoint. Under the pretense of convincing the Omaticaya clan to move peacefully, allowing the humans to excavate the valuable unobtainium from beneath home tree, the RDA used Avatar driver Jake Sully as an ambassador. In reality, however, Parker Selfridge, the head administrator of the operation, and Colonel Quatrich had planned to provoke a response from the Omaticaya by destroying the Tree of Voices, one of their sacred places, to justify the planned destruction of the home tree. A detachment of Scorpion gunships led by Quaritch, using the Dragon assault ship as his flagship, attacked and destroyed home tree using a combination of CS gas, incendiary grenades, and Hellfire missiles, which caused it to collapse, killing a large number of Na'vi, including the clan leader Edukin. After the events at Home Tree, Jake Sully, along with scientists Norm Spellman and Grace Augustine, were incarcerated at the RDA headquarters at Hell's Gate. They escaped when disillusioned Marine pilot Trudy Chacon, with the help from Dr. Max Patel, organized an undercover escape using an unguarded Samson transport. During the escape, Dr. Augustine was fatally shot by Quaritch. She would later die while a revival was attempted by the Omaticaya, further fueling the animosity between the two factions. The crew were able to steal the Avatar uplink from the Hallelujah Mountains and regroup with the Omaticaya. Using the uplink, Jake returned to his Avatar and successfully completed Selu with the infamous Torak, becoming the 6th Torak Makto. Inspired by this feat, the Na'vi once again trusted Jake and followed him to the Four Winds to unite all the Na'vi tribes against the RDA. Aware of the Na'vi's rapid increase in numbers, Quaritch decided to execute a preemptive strike against the Na'vi holy site at the Tree of Souls to blast a crater in their racial memory so deep that they won't come within 1,000 clicks of this place, Hell's Gate, ever again. The RDA outfitted the Valkyrie shuttles with pallets full of high explosives and set out with every aircraft in their arsenal while Jake prayed to Aowa for a favorable outcome in the battle ahead. The RDA completely unopposed through the Hallelujah Mountains and into Pandora's infamous flux vortex, mangling the RDA's electronic detection equipment. A contingent of AMP suits and standard infantry started noticing readings of movement up ahead, although the Air Force had yet to notice the enemy. As the shuttle approached the stone arches marking the entrance to the Tree of Souls, several hundred Banshee-mounted warriors descended onto the formation. Jake Sully accounted for the first RDA casualties when his Torak grabbed onto a Scorpion gunship and sent it out of control into a nearby cliff face. At this point, the primary strategy of the Na'vi was to fire arrows directly into the cockpits of the enemy aircraft, making use of their Banshee's speed and close range to overcome the reinforced glass. Meanwhile, on the ground, a large group of dire horse-mounted Na'vi approached the advancing infantry head-on with less effect. Although the Na'vi had taken advantage of the element of surprise and managed to destroy several enemy units, Quaritch eventually ordered the RDA to break formation, and the battle soon turned to favor the humans and their superior technology. Even though Trudy managed to cause some damage to the enemy in her own Samson, suitably decorated with Na'vi war paint, she was quickly shot down and killed by Quaritch's Dragon gunship. At this point, the Na'vi sustained heavy casualties, including Sute, who had attempted to direct assault on the Valkyrie shuttle, Trudy, after fighting the Dragon assault ship, and Seize, Natiri's Banshee. The RDA soon regained control of the fight and were subsequently allowed to regroup and resume their bombing run of the Tree of Souls. As Jake slowly came to realize that his counterattack had failed, and Neytiri prepared one final suicidal attempt to attack the advancing enemy ground forces, despite Jake's order to hold her fire, much of the native wildlife suddenly organized against the human invaders. Dozens of hammerhead titanotheres and stern beasts charged at the advancing amp suits, their natural frontal armor easily deflecting the large caliber rounds fired by the RDA-Na'vi. This stampede made short work of the advancing ground forces and quickly caused a retreat, which was pursued by packs of viper wolves. Meanwhile, 7,000 wild banshees descended on what was left of the Quaritch's air force, easily destroying the remainder of the Scorpion gunships. Under the cover of this new assault, Jake single-handedly raided the Valkyrie shuttle, disabling one of its starboard engines by tossing a hand grenade into the intake. As he escaped on the back of his Torak, the shuttle lost control and careened into the nearby mountainside, losing its entire starboard side wing and crashing into the valley below, detonating the explosives carried on board, well clear of the Tree of Souls. A similar tactic with the Dragon assault ship failed as Quaritch had seen him coming and took evasive action. The grenade that was meant for the engine intake detonated inside an air vent, breaching the hull and forcing the crew inside to don exopacks. Despite the effort to shake Jake off the ship, he managed to separate a Hellfire missile from its coupling and send it into the front of the starboard lift fan, causing the aircraft to lose control and explode in midair. While this signaled the end of the battle and the RDA's attempt to destroy the Tree of Souls, Quaritch successfully managed to escape in one of the unused amp suits, landing clear of the Dragon's burning wreckage shortly before it crashed. Jake managed to fall clear of the explosion and slowed his descent by using the oversized foliage found on the trees of Pandora. Quaritch, however, now marching through the woods in an amp suit, managed to locate the Avatar uplink capsule that Trudy and the scientists had previously stolen. Before he could destroy it, Neytiri attacked him from the back of a Thanator and managed to destroy his GAU-90 before Quaritch could dispatch the Thanator with an amp suit knife, leaving Neytiri pinned under it. Before he could return his attention to the uplink station, Jake cut him off and attacked, destroying both Quaritch's knife and breaching the glass canopy of the amp suit. Quaritch was able to don an emergency exo pack, and then he attacked the uplink station, breaching one of its reinforced glass windows and destroying an empty uplink. Jake attacked Quaritch again from behind, losing his own knife in the struggle. Jake was having difficulty maintaining his connection with his avatar, soon finding himself at the end of his own knife. Neytiri, who had just managed to free herself from beneath the deceased Thanator, finally dispatched Colonel Quaritch with 2 arrows to his chest. Jake, unable to main his uplink to his avatar, woke in the breached uplink station and unsuccessfully attempted to don an emergency exopack, losing consciousness a mere 100 yards away from Neytiri. Neytiri managed to piece together what was going on and placed the exopack over Jake's face, allowing him to get enough oxygen to regain consciousness. After the Pandoran War, the leadership of the Omaticaya was passed on to Jake by Sute, who was dying from the gunshot wounds he sustained in the battle. The Na'vi approached the Hell's Gate compound and forced the RDA personnel to leave Pandora for good. Some humans, presumably those who had aided the Na'vi in their struggle, were allowed to stay behind. This included Jake, Norm, Max, and some of the other science crew. Jake elected to undergo a Na'vi ritual to transfer his consciousness permanently into his avatar, thus becoming one of the Na'vi forever. It is unknown what happened to the rest of the humans who were allowed to stay, or if the other members of the Avatar team underwent the same ritual. In the years after the end of the Pandoran War, humans were eventually invited to return. Alpha Centauri expeditions began arranging civilian visits to Pandora.